John Thornton here, allproblogger.com. I wrote a piece last night on Green Bay Packers backup quarterback Matt Flynn. Some people didn't like it; they thought it was silly. I wrote it to prove a point. Um, I really think that teams in this year's draft that are looking for a quarterback, they don't have a great crop to choose from. The best quarterback in this draft is sitting in Stanford right now, Andrew Luck. He was the guy everybody thought was going to come out. People would have had a shot at him. Obviously, Carolina would have probably taken him in a heartbeat. And that would have just made the quarterback class a lot better. But, now you don't have Andrew Luck, and you got a bunch of different guys in this draft, guys that bring different things to the table. To me personally, I think I would rank the quarterbacks, in my opinion, I would rank them Cam Newton number one, Ryan Mallett number two. That's just me personally. I think Cam Newton has a unique ability to run the ball, a unique ability to pass the ball. He's shown that in college, whether he was in junior college or he was at Auburn for 1 year. I mean, that's what he do. I mean, the guy, he can play, and he plays in big games. He's had comebacks versus great defensive coordinators, great coaches, and Nick Saban, and great talent on the field in the SEC. So he's passed the test, in my opinion, in tough games and big games. Ryan Mallett, the same situation. He played in the same conference at Arkansas, had good success passing the ball. He struggled against some good teams, but he's beat other good teams. He played up in Michigan. He left there, went to Arkansas. So he's well traveled. He's played in a couple of different systems, but he's played under a pro type coach in Bobby Petrino. I think Ryan Mallett can come in and be a good NFL passer quicker than the other guys in this draft. And then after Newton and Mallett, you have your Blaine Gabberts, your Jake Lockers, your Christian Ponders, your Andy Daltons, your Colin Kaepernicks, your Ricky Stanzis. I'm sure I'm leaving some guys out, but you just have a bunch of guys muddled in there that I'm not really too excited about. I mean, I'm sure one of them may turn out to be a really good quarterback, but right now I'm not wasting a draft pick on them because I really don't know what they're going to do. So and just say a team like the Bengals, where everyone knows that you need a quarterback. I don't know how Mike Brown feels about that, but most people assume that you need a quarterback. If it's not a Cam Newton, to me, and if you really don't feel that Ryan Mallett is worthy of a fourth pick in the draft, then I'm passing on quarterbacks altogether in this draft because there's nobody that can come in right now and help me. I mean, I would rather go with the backups that they have on the roster right now or go out and sign some veteran free agent guys than spend a second round pick, a high second round pick on a guy that really isn't ready to play, or trade back into the first round and get that same type of guy. And you know what? No matter if you spent the first or second round pick on him, he still has the same skills and he still won't be able to play. So if I'm a team like that, like the Bengals, if it's not one of these special players, then I'm not going to take one, and I'm just going to take my chances on some average guys that are already in the NFL, or go out and try to sign some veterans. Now, the point that I made with Matt Flynn is that, excuse me, Matt Flynn was a seventh-round pick for Green Bay a couple of years ago, back in '08. The Packers spent a second-round pick in that same year on Brian Brom, and sort of Matt Flynn was a throwaway pick. He ends up being a better player. He was a tough running quarterback in college that could throw a little bit. He came into the NFL. I remember playing against him in his first preseason game up in Green Bay. He played better than Brian Brom then. He's a guy that's studied behind Aaron Rodgers, Mike McCarthy, who's one of the best offensive minds in football. They just won a Super Bowl. And this guy's been sitting there learning. He got a chance to play against the Patriots last year in Foxborough. Played pretty well. If you watched that game, he looked just like Aaron Rodgers. So to me, and I know that he doesn't have a lot of experience, but if you're going to justify spending a second round pick on an Andy Dalton type or a Christian Ponder type, how can you not justify sending a second round pick to Green Bay for a guy who's been in the league for 3 years studying and has game film? He has preseason film. against NFL defenses, how can you not justify going to get a guy like that? I know people may say, well, go get a Kevin Kolb and give a first round pick. Yeah, but the Eagles are going to want more than the first round pick for Kevin Kolb. I just heard Andy Reid on the radio saying that. He feels like Kevin Kolb is a championship quarterback and he wants championship compensation. So if you really feel like you need a quarterback, I don't think, unless it's to me Newton or Mallett, I don't think that guy. I don't think I would take a chance on the guy in this draft. One of the guys that I really like out there, that's a veteran and has another year on his contract, is Kyle Orton. To me, he's an excellent passer. He's played in Chicago a few years ago with predominantly a running team, and he was okay with throwing the ball, 20 times a game at that. So I think that you're getting the best of both worlds. He's a young quarterback. You don't have to pay him top dollar if you want to have him in a system where it's a run-first system, but you're going to have to pay him a little bit of money now, but you won't have to pay him Carson Palmer money. So there's plenty of ways that you can go out and solve this quarterback problem, whether you're the Bengals or whether you're the Bills or whether, I don't care who you are. But to go out and to waste your picks, especially in this year's draft where there's a lot of players out there that's going to be in the first and second round that can come in and possibly start for you, and you're going to spend it on a guy that may not be able to play for 2 or 3 years. I just don't agree with that philosophy. So a week before the draft, it'll be interesting to see where all of these quarterbacks go, but my theory on it would be if you're not getting a difference maker like a Cam Newton or a difference maker throwing the ball like Ryan Mallett, then these other guys, you're just basically rolling the dice. You're rolling the dice with all of them, but I think the other guys they bring unique skill sets to the table, and the rest of the quarterback class doesn't.